You care for the girl, don't you?
More than anything.
Well, then, you must tell her. Voila! Oh, you look so...
Stupid.
Not quite the word I was looking for.
Hello, Internet Dwellers, and welcome back to Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library, the show where we watch awesome Disney movies, the animated ones, specifically the ones from the Animation Studio ones. Can I put more qualifiers here? I'm Jeff, and across from me, again, for the third week in a row, TC is still here. Welcome, TC.
Good morning, Belle. Where are you off to this morning?
The bookshop.
Because your name is Jeff Bell.
Guys, I think that's why I like Bell. We've broken the code. We've broken the code.
What are we doing today?
Well, today, guys, gals,
this is it,
folks.
I mean, this is momentous.
This is momentous for me in so many ways. We've reached the 30th movie, which in itself is an importance.
Right.
The Disney's 30th animated feature. Also, we've finally hit the movie I have yet to shut up about in the last 29 episodes, Beauty and the Beast.
Will it live up to the hype? That's what I want to know.
Well, you know,
1991.
Yep.
Beauty and the Beast. And Jeff, of all the movies we've watched so far, where do you...
Son of a bitch! Because that's exactly what I was just going to do.
I beat you to it.
I hate you so much.
Ooh.
That was the next thing that was going to come out of my mouth. I hate you so much.
I don't know why. Maybe I sensed that you were going to do it. It's that being in the same room vibe we got, where we just read each other's minds.
I finished watching the movie last night. I was lying in bed, and I'm like, I'm going to start the show off by just asking TZ where he ranks the movie.
No, I beat you to it.
Well, this week's episode is only going to be 3 minutes long as I wrap up my feelings and we just move on. So,
if this is the first time you're listening to an episode of Top Shelf Disney's and just Top Shelf Disney,
yes.
Then you will be made aware right now as I'm saying it, as the words come out of my mouth. We have been watching these movies in a sets of 10.
Yep.
This is our third set, so we've now watched 30 films, as Jeff mentioned.
It's crazy.
And we rank them 1 through 10 in each grouping. And because this is the last, we'll do a little recap. So. For those listening, be prepared for probably a little longer episode than we're used to. We have a lot to talk about in terms of Beauty and the Beast alone.
Guys, I didn't have to actually watch this movie. I watched the movie.
He did watch it, yeah.
And I took copious amounts of notes, actually.
Yeah,
way more than I even anticipated taking.
Oddly, I took almost the least amount of notes I've taken on any of these. But I know you've seen this a million times.
I've seen this movie a million times, but we talked off air. I think we talked off air. We might have even mentioned at the end of last week's episode the idea that I challenged myself to watch this movie from the frame of mind of having just watched the 29 before it. Like, I'm watching it differently than I normally would. I know this movie by heart. I know the songs. I don't even have to watch it. I know exactly what's happening on camera every single second of this film, but I watched it from a more critical point of view, from a technical point of view, and like a story, and just kind of, I watched it from is this the natural evolution for where Disney was going? Like, well, yeah, is this next? Like, hey, let's look at the animation. How has the animation improved since we last seen, from like the last 10 movies? And so I definitely did watch it that way, which I think is why I took so many notes.
That is good. Yes, it's been a good number of years since I've watched this, and this begs a question right off the gate. Which version did you watch?
So I sought out to watch the theatrical version.
Okay.
That's what I had intended on watching.
Yes.
I did, however, end up watching the special edition, which has the song "Human Again."
Human Again, yes.
Which comes right after the Something There song when they're playing out in the snow.
That wasn't there before.
Right, and then it ends right before Beast is getting ready in the bathtub, which, for those of you listening who know the movie, is where the quote from the beginning of this episode came from.
Yes.
So Human Again ends right before that sequence takes place.
So the last time I watched this, when I did my viewing of all these Disney movies, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, I watched that version, the Human Again version.
Okay.
And when that scene came up, I had no idea that they had added this.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden this new scene starts, and I'm going, what is this? And then this song starts, I'm like, what the heck is this? I watched it with Candace, and she was like, what, this is That's the only version she had ever seen.
Oh, wow,
She
okay.
had never seen the original version, which I had on VHS. I don't remember seeing this in theaters. I would have been pretty young.
Yeah, I did not see it in theaters, but I remember it being out in theaters.
Yeah. So this Human Again starting, I was very confused.
But since we're talking about Human Again, I do want to,
right.
because again, watching this with a more technical, my technical glasses on, I was actually very impressed with how well it actually blends pretty dang well into the rest of the movie. Like it was. I mean, they did it for the 2001 or 2003 edition of the movie. It's not a recent edition, but it was still 10 years after, and the CG animated films were starting to really take off, and it was very impressive that they were able to capture the same animation style, and obviously they had all the voices because it was a sequence that the original actors had voiced, I believe.
Yes, yeah, they ran out of time to animate it,
right?
So it was cut from the film.
So but it was. I thought again, as being
seamless.
a Beauty and the Beast person,
seamless.
you can't, if you didn't know that was an added scene, you would just be like, yeah, okay, like this is the movie. This is part of the movie. Though I will say this. I do not care for the song because it's 4 songs in a very short amount of time.
I'm glad you feel that way because I do not like this additional
it's
song.
too much.
Yeah.
Like it's great that we get to hear, like, okay, it's a song for all of the, not Inhumans, that's not the right term, but all of the
inanimate objects.
The inanimate objects, and it's great to know that they're excited.
Animate objects, I suppose, because they are
are moving. Oh my goodness, so does that mean they're just objects?
What is life?
What is life? This is what today's episode is going to be. Scrap Beauty and the Beast.
So it's a song for them.
It's a song for them, and it's great to hear like they're happy about it, and it's a nice song, but in the scheme of the movie, for the flow of the film, we just got done with 2 songs. We're thrown into a third one, and then within 2 minutes, it's Beauty and the Beast of them ballroom dancing again. It's like, oh, just slow down. Hold on, wait. And then it's a long gap before there's another song.
And I think that's worth mentioning in terms of the time frame of this film, which there are some comments about this. There's obviously lots of over-analyses of how long the movie takes place, how old some of the characters might be, how old they probably should be. This movie this is the most Broadway film we've watched yet in this library.
Oh, yeah.
As much as Little Mermaid played up the Renaissance era musicality, the stylings we're familiar with still when you look at Frozen and whatnot. This feels like an animated stage production.
Yeah.
The translation of this, or the transition from this to the stage, had to be one of the simplest transitions that anyone has ever had to do.
It's like, what, we just had to write like 2 more songs?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just use the script, guys. Here we go. Action.
Now, Menken and Ashman came from Broadway, so
right.
They wrote it to that effect. This movie was, they said, make it more Broadway. The higher ups. I'll get to Katzenberg later, but
TC will have his Katzenberg minute later on.
make it more theatrical, more like a Broadway production, and this definitely feels that way. Because it clips along at such a pace.
It's an hour and a half. So the special edition version's an hour and 31, I believe.
It's like an extra 7 minutes.
Yeah, because of Human Again and just a couple extra little bits and pieces around it. Because before Human Again, there's a scene with them at the bottom of the staircase with like a little 2-minute scene. So it's 5-minute song, 2-minute scene, like 7 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But it's so it's one of the longer films we've watched. It's not. I don't think it's the longest, but it's. I mean, Little Mermaid was still only an hour and 17, and that was 2 movies ago, and Rescuers was only like an hour 15.
77 minutes.
Yeah. So we're hitting an hour and a half. We hit a 90-minute animated film.
This is a full-length feature film right here.
But does this movie just, and that was one of my notes I noticed, this movie just books it.
Yeah.
We're in a scene for maybe 3 minutes, and then we're on to the next scene. If you think about it, it's the opening monologue. It's Belle's song in the village. An extra scene with her and Gaston. Boom, and then we're back into the house. And then boom, Maurice is out, and then Maurice gets in the beast, and then Belle gets it's moving. There's stuff happening constantly.
Almost too fast.
Yeah.
Sitting there watching it, I was like, wow, this is hardly anything has a moment to settle.
Yeah.
And for good or ill. when I can look at something like Little Mermaid, part of your world settles. There are moments that there's just that little breath of settling, and Beauty and the Beast just flies.
Right. Belle gets her song in the beginning, and then there's that immediate scene with her and Gaston, and then the moment she leaves the scene, then it's Gaston and LeFou.
Yeah.
Like, and then the moment their scene is done, it's Belle back at the house. Like, there's nothing stopping.
It's still well constructed. Everything has a cause and effect here. It's the difference between and then, and therefore, because. And everything that happens in this movie, the dominoes fall logically. This happens because of this. And that's a good credit to the script itself, because it is fast, it is a tight script, and it's a very well developed script. Which, why wouldn't it be? They've been trying to make this since the 30s.
Yes.
This was like Disney had his original list of the animated films he wanted to set out to do, which included Snow White and Cinderella. This was on that list since the 30s. They've been trying to make this movie,
which is one of those. So that one of the things I realized while watching the opening, like the opening prologue, and then you get the songs, and then even going as far as Belle acknowledging the fact that there are fairy tales in the world, because she's obviously she's a reader, and she talks about Prince Charming in the opening song, and the one later on with like the lovers in disguise and all this stuff. It's very much so that she knows she exists in a world where fairy tales are things. They are books that she reads. The movie feels more like, to me, and with it being the 30th animated film that they have, it feels more to me like it is a homage to the movies that came before it. It's not in itself a Disney fairy tale story. Granted, yes, it is, but it's not another Cinderella. It's not another Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah,
it feels to me like Die Another Day did to the Bond movies. The 20th Bond movie did to the Bond films.
Yeah,
that is what Beauty and the Beast kind of is, except Beauty and the Beast did it better.
It's not like now.
And 10 years earlier.
right now when we get meta references in something like Frozen, like you fell in love with a guy on a first day, right? That's a very clear reference to the history of the Disney library,
right?
Where that's very upfront. This is an homage in a very loving way. And I agree with you that this does have that sort of that homage effect, that it's paying tribute, even going so far as deliberately reusing the animation of Sleeping Beauty dancing with Prince Charming for the end of this one. There's even some Fantasia animation used in this, with the napkins being the flowers from.
And you could argue, and obviously Bambi's mother shows up in the beginning, in that opening push-in shot of Beast's castle. It's Bambi's mom is drinking by the water, which means Bambi's mom, for a character who died very early in the film, she has appeared in so many other films. I think she is giving Hugh Jackman a run for his money in most times a character can appear. I guess Bond has probably got the record.
But that's recast.
Doesn't matter. That's
this
true.
Is the same animated
actress, which is a deer.
Dope. A deer.
A female deer.
So let me jump on this right away.
Okay.
We discussed the speed. We discussed the tightness of the script. Let's take a moment to acknowledge this discussion people have had more than a few times. You can find multiple theories and discussions about the fact that if 10 years they've been rusting, needing so much more than dusting.
Thank you.
And he's going to be turning 21.
Yep.
That means this enchantress cursed an 11-year-old boy.
Right.
A 10 and 11-year-old boy.
I'm sorry. No matter how smart or how well you were raised, you made dumb mistakes when you were 11 years old.
Plus, he's a kid. A woman comes up and says, "Let me in, little boy. I'll give you a flower."
Stranger danger.
Yeah. But here's the thing. They never said that he's turning 21. The prologue says by his 21st year, which semantically means you could interpret to mean the 21st year as the Beast, not his 21st birthday.
Okay.
It does not specifically say his 21st year of age or his 21st birthday. It says if he does not fall in love by his 21st year. You could interpret that to mean he spent 21 years as the Beast.
Okay. But then would that not would that not break Lumiere's line in the song
That
about
10,
that we've
10
been
years,
10 years of rusting?
Rusting, needing so much more. Well, that yes, it could. Or if I could further my
please
evidence
do.
here, is that perhaps young Prince Adam, the Beast, tried his best for 10 years and finally gave up and said, I'm done, I give up, I'm going to die like this is it, this is my thing. And then for another decade, that's when they weren't even being used anymore.
Okay.
So obviously this is all up for interpretation.
That's a very fascinating approach to it, though. I've never considered that line of his 21st year meant 21 years of being the Beast, not 21 years of age.
And if I may go even further, let's just get to a theory right away.
Okay.
I'm going to throw this.
Go ahead.
I know we usually save these for the end.
Hey, you asked me where this movie ranked in the first 3 minutes of the film.
We're all over the place.
Order is out the windows.
So I found this on Reddit. This is a fun theory,
Okay.
particularly for us being the fans that we are of certain things. A little town full of little people. There goes the baker with his tray, like always. The same old bread and loaves to sell.
Is it a Truman Show?
No.
Oh.
Literally the same bread and rolls to sell.
So they're stuck in time?
It's a time loop.
Ooh.
That Belle and Maurice moved to this village since we came to this poor provincial town. They're not from this village. And why wouldn't this village of people remember this king?
Right.
That's this prince that went missing. If the village was also part of the curse, that this is some sort of out-of-time loop situation, Belle and Maurice are disrupting the time flow here. Anyone listening to this for the first time is like, this is not what I thought the conversation was
Holy
going to be
crap,
about.
that's a freaking awesome idea.
Yeah.
Because so with that little continuity error or loophole or whatever of how does the village not know, that's something that we're gonna bring it up a little bit. The live action remake of Beauty and the Beast, they did try to fix that.
They did, yes,
by making it be that the spell that got cast on the castle and the Beast also affected the surrounding area by putting it in like a invisible bubble and making everybody forget about that it even existed. So, but it's fascinating to think that one line, which I doubt this is what they were intending.
They did not. We are reaching here.
It's a great interpretation of it.
This is what happens. You can really tell how culturally significant a film is by how much conversation is still being had about it after the fact. Right? The Dark Knight is the greatest comic book movie of all time, just strictly based on the fact that people can't stop theorizing about it and talking about it. That's a conversation for a different podcast.
Yeah.
But the fact that there are so many theories about Beauty and the Beast, the fact
26 years later.
Yeah. That proves the importance of this film in the pop cultural zeitgeist, that it's something that continues to be part of a conversation. So I know I kind of tangented way over into the conversation that we probably weren't even going to have till later.
No, but that's fascinating. Yeah. That's a lot better than my theory. So
you can save that for later.
I'll save my theory for later. I do have a brief theory to bring up. Mine is not nearly as fun as TC's were.
It's a time loop. And not even like a daily time loop, but maybe like a weekly time loop.
So that way they don't even realize it. So really, Belle lives in Puxatawney, PA. She is.
Well, think of how she moves through that. She's dodging the water without looking.
She knows everything.
She knows everything's going to happen.
Good God, Beauty and the Beast is Groundhog's Day.
Oh,
Hashtag man. Beauty and the Beast is Groundhog's Day. Hashtag Qwalla.
Let's talk about Belle.
Okay.
So we definitively have our smartest Disney princess to date. She's very literate. She's very well learned. She's read every book. Like she's the smartest character we've had so far.
She knows what she wants. She doesn't want to settle for Gaston.
Yeah.
I do want to come back to the idea of what this movie would have been like had it been made 50 years prior. So,
okay. Okay.
But keep going.
So Belle herself is one of the. In one respect, we'll get to the other part. Everyone out there right now is like, talk about Stockholm Syndrome. We'll get to that. But in respects to the introduction of her character, her desires, she's a smart chick. She's a smart girl. She's a very good example of a role model in that respect. She wants what she wants. She's not going to settle. She dreams of so much more than the life she has. She wants to she's a neat character. I know that you're a big fan of hers. So.
I do, and that has nothing to do with the fact that she's totally my type. Brunette and animated.
And smart.
And smart,
And
yeah,
French.
that's too. And French. Even though she doesn't speak with a French accent, it's fun. She could just say
Only
she's
Lemire
French.
talks in the French accent.
That's true, which is strange. She's the only character in the entire film that speaks with a French accent.
Just use the movie logic like we're in a TARDIS, and it just interprets the French for us.
Not the only French, the feather duster.
Oh, that's right.
Because she does say ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Oh no. Oh yes.
So Belle, she's the smartest. I love her introduction. This is one of the best uses of expositional music in the movies we've seen so far.
much so that it doesn't even feel like exposition.
Correct.
Because it's just a fun song, but then you quickly realize because in that song she reveals that this is the life she leads. Mm-hmm. She doesn't really want to be here anymore. She recognizes how this town just goes about their business every single day. They introduce the concept that the town thinks she's weird, that she doesn't fit in, she doesn't belong. You get Gaston's introduction in this same song and his sidekick's introduction. You get his motivation as to what he wants to do, and you get their confrontation between the two of them.
It works so well, you could almost remove the opening prologue.
Yeah.
Though the opening prologue is quite neat, that it's beautifully animated. It's much better than opening up a book. It's much better than a lot of the prologues we've seen up to this point.
I love the stained glass thing. Yeah, that's so cool.
It's a wonderful way of setting up. This is the once upon a time information you need. Beast is cursed for this reason. Find true love. Its beauty is skin deep. Right. And actually, that's another credit to Belle. She has no idea what Prince Adam looks like. She only knows him as the Beast. She almost has an opportunity to see what he looks like when she goes to put the painting up.
Right.
But she stops. And the only thing she can see in that painting is his eyes, which in the end is how she is able to connect with him. His beautiful baby blue eyes, which is... Sorry.
The rest of him not so attractive looking. I'm sorry. He's like a weird Ken doll.
Oh, you mean when you finally see what
yes.
Adam looks like?
Also, it's really lucky that Adam was the same size as he was in human form as he was as the Beast.
I don't think he was.
Because, those clothes should have been just
Magic Jeff.
falling off of him.
Magic Jeff.
I refuse to believe in magic.
His blue eyes... This is great. This is such a simple technique. Belle's the only one who wears blue in the whole movie, except Beast, and the blue of his eyes is matched to her color palette. So it's very subconscious, very simple technique.
Oh yeah,
that they design. Even going with another technique, Gaston is the only one in true blood red. There's other reds in the movie for sure, but
they're muted or they're off reds.
Yeah,
he's the only one that's
the apples
bright.
Are not the red of Gaston. Red is to Gaston, blue is to Beauty and Beast, and that's a really neat technique there. But I really like Belle as a character. She's smarter, she's more adult than Ariel if we're comparing to the more recent princess. And then of course the Stockholm syndrome, that she's captured by this guy and falls in love with him.
Right.
And this is part of the how closely should you analyze something,
right,
and how much should you just take it for its face value.
So I do want to say that since we're talking about that, I'm going to show, I want to share the theory that I stumbled across online, because it does kind of connect into this.
Okay.
But the theory is that Beast is actually a representation of somebody suffering from depression, which some of you out there might be listening to it going, well, no duh, because he's going to be stuck as a beast the rest of his life and no one's going to love him because he's ugly. But there's a couple people online that have noted that he does show a lot of the same symptoms. The fact that he's a recluse, that he has no self-confidence in himself, no self-confidence in himself is implied. He's got no self-confidence, that he just wants to be left alone, and he doesn't, he thinks of other people's goods, but he never thinks of himself, which is why he lets Belle go, even though it ultimately sacrifices his own happiness in the end. But that there's definitely an article. I found an article. I will link the article on the Ghost Tap page. Okay. I won't do it on the Facebook page just because we don't need more depressing stuff on Facebook. But it will be on the Ghost Tap page for this episode.
Well, that's interesting to consider that, to look at Beast and consider him for a depression angle and storytelling that's more interesting than harping on the Stockholm Syndrome situation that Belle goes through, which she clearly does.
She clearly does.
It is a textbook case of it. But to be honest, though I just praised Belle, I think the best character in this movie is Gaston. Because he's the most developed character. I can tell you so much more about Gaston than I can tell you about Beauty or Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm not thinking hard enough, but Gaston, there's so much to this character for as one note as he can come off to be. His one note is very developed.
Right. I mean, because you learn everything about him. You know who he is. He is very not set in his ways, but he knows what he wants out of life.
Yeah.
He wants Belle because
I deserve her.
I deserve her. What are you talking about? Like, this is not even something
Don't I deserve the best?
we don't need to have a question about who I am and who I am inside. I know exactly who I am inside.
I'm not saying he's a good guy.
Oh no, he's not good
but
at all.
I'm saying he's a great character.
And along those lines, do you think? I feel like in older Disney movies, Gaston would have been the Prince Charming.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right?
If I mean, plug to my own show, that's what Sandstone is for the Princess Knight.
Oh yes,
he's what is going on here? I'm supposed to be the hero here, right?
I'm the one that's supposed to get the woman at the end.
Yeah.
Because I'm the hunter, I'm the strong one, I'm the muscular one. I have to slay the beast or slay the dragon or slay the bad guy. Like, think about this. I feel like in Gaston's head, he is portraying the part of the hero
He's not doing
in the
anything
movie.
wrong.
Yeah. He's just, this is my script. Is your script different? Why is your script different than my script?
How do I not get the girl in the end here?
How do I die at the end of this? No one gave me those pages. What is this about?
He's one of the best villains we've seen in this library so far.
Yes.
And he doesn't have any magic to him.
Thank you. Has no magic powers to him.
Yeah, and typically the gimmick of some of the villains we've seen up to this point has been their magic. Ursula's amazing. She's a wonderfully animated character, wonderfully performed character, has an amazing song. But there's not much more to her than just being a bad guy, unless, like we did, you scrape below the surface of the water, because that's like wordplay.
Oh, ooh.
But
under the sea,
Under
you
the
will.
sea.
Go ahead, kiss the girl.
But Gaston is this very developed villain. So much so that I will say he's at this point, I feel, one, if not the most developed villain, right up there.
We've definitely, I mean, and obviously it goes without saying, we've had villains that are not, that don't have magic to them, like Cruella doesn't have magic, right. and the bad cast of Oliver and Company. I'm just gonna say cast because they're all morally gray, but they are all very much so two-dimensional villains. They're all, I'm a bad guy, I'm aware of it, here's why I'm a bad, and this is my one bad thing that I'm going to do the entire movie. Whereas Gaston does come off as like, he just wants Belle.
Yeah.
He wants Belle. That's all he wants. Oh, and there's a beast? Oh, well, I have to stop the beast so I can get Belle. That's all I want.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
This is the best.
Don't I deserve the best?
Now let's look at like Lumiere and Cogsworth. Let's look at the inanimate objects made animated. The animated objects. Lumiere is way more attractive as a candlestick than he is as a human.
Yes,
right?
he is. I have realized that about a lot of the characters. And I'm like, oh, go back to being the object. I don't...
It's funny.
It's
just
weird.
At the end when he becomes human, I'm like, ugh. I think he just came off much more suave as a candelabra.
I think he was compensating. Once he realized, like, hey, I look pretty good as a candle. I'll just be a candle. The rest of them, I'll be okay with this.
We just had the conversation about sidekicks between Joanna, and you look at, we talked about Sebastian. We had been tweeted if we thought he was the best. I still think Sebastian's the better sidekick character. I mean, hell, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, none of those characters ever refer to Belle by name.
That's true. It's the girl.
Yeah.
Or dear, or...
Chip calls her Belle.
That's right. That's right. He does. He's the only one that does, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it. It's just Chip who calls her Belle. Now, that doesn't change the fact that Lumiere has one of the all-time great Disney songs.
Oh, yes.
Our guest.
Fantastic showstopper. Which, again, you look at it, you listen to it, it is absolutely flat out a Broadway song.
Oh, yeah.
Because it almost feels like maybe going into intermission song. Like, it's just this big, huge number that they're going to pull out all the stops for.
Boom! Like, if anyone's ever, if you've been familiar with the Broadway show, if you've ever had a chance to see it, or even like a high school production, that is the biggest production number of the whole show, is to Be Our Guest, and it's a song that will forever be sung at every dinner theater till the end of time.
Yes, and I like that the movie version of it, like the dancing plates and silverware and utensils and all that stuff, it harkens back to the 30s era, big budget, like musical movies. I'm trying to like, yeah, like all the plates or like all the silverware diving into the bowl, and then like doing the synchronized swimming, and then the plates all coming up on like the tiered system, and they're rotating around and they're dancing. I can't think of the. Oh man, there's people out there right now that are yelling it at their speakers that they know what I'm talking about. The movie. It used to be in the Great Ride or the Great Movie Ride down in MGM. Like that was the first thing you saw when you rode in, and but that like the Siegfried Follies, is that it? Am I thinking
the
correctly?
Classic era of Hollywood being represented here on the big screen.
On the big screen in the 90s to a generation who has like at least multiple generations that have no idea those movies, but it just fits and it just works. Like nope,
and
this is perfect.
That's a darn good number, and it's
catchy.
And every song in this movie is progressing the narrative. Little Mermaid did that as well, where the songs were a part of the narrative. But this more than that. I mean, there's 25 minutes plus worth of singing narration, singing plot throughout the course of this. You get characters' motives and feelings and an explanation of what's going on through songs like Gaston and Be Our Guest. And that's another thing we haven't really experienced in the Disney library up to this point.
But is something that we will get more of,
yes,
as we move along through these eras. Because coming back from the 70s and the 60s, or like the 70s when it was just incidental music or it was just a song that was playing to make you feel emotional. Yeah, you're very right that everything that we're hearing in this continues that storyline. I was trying to find the movie. I was trying to find the soundtrack and I can't find it now. Music.
So the song in this that as much as Be Our Guest is the showstopper, Gaston is one of the best villain songs up to this point. Beauty and the Beast itself is a beautiful number and sung by the legendary Angela Lansbury.
Which is crazy to think like she actually sings it. And it's because we're in that era where we don't get a lot of the speaking people to be singing their songs.
Right.
Like the voice actors don't sing their songs. That's something we're definitely going to hit with the next movie on our list next week. It's almost evident once you realize like, oh, that's not the same person singing.
Right.
You're going to hear it
It's
from
like, that's
ever.
I mean, hell, in There's Something More, when she didn't shudder when she touched my paw. Like, that does not sound like the voice actor doing Beast's voice. But Angela Lansbury singing Beauty and the Beast is just amazing. And she didn't even think she should do it. She thought there was a better character to sing that song. And
because she's the loving old lady.
Yeah,
it has to be her. She's the hopeless romantic who somehow has a 9-year-old child.
Again, time loop.
Oh, man. What, did she age? Did Mrs. Potts age?
The kid was trapped at 9 years old when the curse started. None of the animate objects have aged.
But Mrs. Potts still, like, in her 50s, right? She's up there.
Prematurely gray. It's a different time. French people, Jeff. French people.
Those French people are weird. They're hairy, and they like Jerry Lewis. Hey, I like Jerry Lewis, too. Yeah, come on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys.
So, Cogsworth, what that poor guy. He gets smacked around, beat up. He is just trying to do his job.
I know. But he has a character development in Be Our Guest as well, because he definitely starts off being like, don't sing, and like trying to get him to shut up, and this like the breakdown moment when they're making it like snow, and he's just standing there as it's like, but then right as the end of the song happens, and he actually like lets loose and starts dancing, his
tongue's hanging out.
Yeah, I love that. I love that there's a moment where his character in a song actually kind of has a character arc, and he kind of loosens up a bit and relaxes and understands like, no, you know what, this is kind of fun actually.
Something that I had forgotten, and maybe it was just something I was never really drew my attention, was how many animated cartoon wild takes are in this movie. A lot of like Cogsworth getting yanked and then his hair following.
Oh yeah.
Or LeFou getting his face stuck in the glass and then bunk. Right. There's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah, there is.
That I don't feel is something I ever considered before. That this has a lot of cartoonish elements to it.
And it's only done with the characters that it makes sense with.
Right, like Belle and Beast. Well, no, even Beast has a little bit of I guess no, he doesn't have any wild takes. He just has some really good physical comedy.
Right, and even so, the spots where the physical comedy happen at in the movie are appropriate. They do not happen the first time you see him because his animation style, or even his character arc, or his animation style fits his character arc. In the beginning of the movie, when you see him, he is portrayed very evil, very large, very looming monster, dark shadows kept from like low angles, and then as he softens to Belle, he starts getting a little more cartoony, comedic, because like when he goes to like pound on the door when she doesn't come down to dinner, and it's like
you can starve.
Yeah, and even my favorite is the would you come down to dinner?
Say please.
No, it's like say like please no, like
he goes,
like his little pointing finger out of the side. Oh, it's such a comedic moment. But then we go back into him being serious, and then it gets really comedic and kind of more physical, funny during the preparation right before the Beauty and the Beast song. Again, where the opening quote for this episode comes from, and then as he realizes that Belle is leaving, he kind of comes back down, and he becomes more Beast, more sad, and kind of just humble until the fight scene with Gaston at the end, and then he's full blown Beast again.
Even seeing Gaston, when that Gaston pulls the arrow on him at the end, and he just looks at him like, "Just do it."
Yeah,
he doesn't say it,
care.
but that's the look in his eyes. Beast has quite a great character arc as well. He's the first character we meet in the movie because of the prologue, and to watch where he goes over the course of the film, being affected by Belle. If anyone watching this, anyone listening, if you can disassociate yourself from the reality of Stockholm Syndrome and how old is this character, and just experience it for the narrative, for the fairy tale that it is, Beast has quite a beautiful story. I was genuinely moved when he touches her face and says, "At least I got to see you one last time," before he dies. That genuinely choked me up. That is really effective for the performance of the character, for the animation of the characters, which brings me to my Glenn Keane moment of the episode.
Okay.
So those who've been listening are aware Glenn Keane is the legendary animator from Disney. Beast was his.
He was the one that did Ariel's hair,
he did
right?
Ariel's hair. He did the bear fight from
bear
Fox
fight.
9. He Marahute from last week's Rescuers Down Under.
Yep.
This guy is a legend of animation, and he was the lead animator on Beast. And when he went into this, he knew what he was going to do. He wanted to save the transformation for last, because he knew that this was going to be one of the most challenging moments of his career. So the transformation back to Prince Adam at the end, and that animation sequence is beautiful. And Keane himself and animation historian Sense have called it's a masterpiece of hand-drawn animation.
Hand-drawn, which in today's world where you could do it, where it's CG, it's easy. It's still not easy. Trust me, I do 3D work on the side.
Yes.
I know how complicated it can be. But it can be easier to transform one model to another with like a 3D piece of software,
right?
Or even 3D aided 2D style animation. You watch that, the Beast is rotating. He's kind of slouching his head down as he's moving because he's limp. So it's not even just like it's a upright figure that they're just doing a 360 turn cycle on.
No. He's mutating.
He's
right
mutating and moving, and he's rotating, and his shoulders up above his head, and it's fascinating to sit there and go, how did you guys plan that at all?
He wanted to save that to the end, and the head of animation for the movie said, "Could you get that sooner? We don't know if you'll have enough time to get to it. If you save it for last, this is an important piece. It needs to work." And Glenn was like, "I'll do it. I'd like to save my dessert for last, but if you want me to do it now, I'll do it." And the director of the movie said, "You know what? You do it when you're ready, and you take as much time as you need. We will hold production for this moment if we have to."
Oh, it's such an important moment, and obviously it's a moment that gets spoofed a lot or referenced a lot. Now we've reached that point nowadays where I feel like whenever there's, technically Return of the Jedi did it first, but whenever there's a transformation or some sort of like changing, there is also like beams of light coming out of the person. but that very much so, Shrek did it. I know you know that.
I do.
See the end of the episode for an explanation of that. But it's definitely a unique moment. We've never seen anything like that transformation in these 30 or the 29 movies leading up to this.
Yeah, the closest we might be able to compare to, which is strange because we're going all the way back to the first one, would be Snow White and the witch's transformation. But even that is presented in close-ups.
Right.
The hand changing, the mouth changing. Like, we don't get to see the full-on transformation.
Right.
That is presented with Beast. And
this is very much so a werewolf transformation in
Yeah.
reverse, if you think about it, because it's
Yeah.
like foot. It's like a close up of the hand, close up of the foot, then a close up of the face. It's so traditional, universal monsters Wolfman transformation in reverse.
It's just the attention to detail in this movie, and it goes beyond the animation because there's certainly an attention to the animation in this. But even the music, we've talked about the music before with Menken and Ashman. Little motifs throughout this. That they did almost a half hour worth of music for this hour and 20-minute film.
Right.
There's only 5 minutes of this movie without score. That's it. Where there's no music.
I'm going through my head right now because
where's there not music?
Because I'm sitting because guys, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I have the full isolated score. I'm a slight lover of this movie.
You nerd.
Shut your face. To the point where it's like I know every piece of the music.
Well,
and like when I hear when I was watching the movie last night, I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, that piece. Like I know, I can listen to the score, not even the songs. I can listen to the score and I can tell you where we are in the movie because how much I love it.
There's a great motif for the Beast that I really appreciate, which is the here's where she meet Prince Charming.
Yep.
The next time you hear that piece of music is it's a bit alarming when she sees Beast for the first
later
time
on during
and sees him for what he could be.
Something there.
It's the callback to that. It's this tiny little reprise, and it's beautifully handled it is no surprise that this was nominated for Best Picture.
Right.
I know we should talk first here, but
first, yeah, right. No, we'll bring that up because
we've broken the format of the show.
Because the format is, guys, it's done. Guys, come on. Also, we're not doing any more episodes of this. There's no greater Disney movie after this. Sorry, guys.
Lies.
Shut your hole. No, it's not a surprise. This is the first animated feature-length film, correct?
Correct.
To be nominated for a Best Picture, and one of the few actually for a Best Picture.
There's only been 3 films in the history of the Oscars, so we're 80 plus years now, that have ever been animated movies that have been nominated for Best Picture. Beauty and the Beast was the first one, Up, and Toy Story 3. Now, when this was nominated, a little history lesson here, when this was nominated for Best Picture for the Academy of Arts and Sciences, for the Academy Awards, for the Oscars, people were ticked. The movie cinephiles were like, how dare you nominate a kid's cartoon for Best Picture? I don't think so. And so much so that they had to create a new category. That's where the Best Animated Film category came from, because people were so outraged that how dare a cartoon be nominated for Best Picture. Which of course, hearing that now, that's ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Especially, look it up. Look at Toy Story 3. Yes, those are, especially the years they came out, definitively some of the best pictures of the years they came out.
Yep.
And
also look at some of the movies that are nominated for Best Pictures and tell me
look
really.
At some of the movies that win Best Picture.
Yeah, I know.
Again,
that's the winning movie for the year.
Quick plug for Lindsay and Colin over at the Oscars. You can delve into more there. But oh shoot, I had a thought and I lost it because we tangented so many times right now.
That's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to get TC off of his tangents. Wait.
What?
I'm on a tangent now. Where did I go?
That was good.
So I did not give you nearly enough time because I attempted to ad-lib and I just tanked.
I'm trying to remember what I was going to say here. But the fact that the nose was turned up, that this could be nominated for. Oh, I thought. Ooh, got it back. Came out in 94. Or, right?
91.
91.
Yep.
I knew that. The Best Picture winner that year was Silence of the Lambs.
Thank you.
Which came... Oh, were you looking at
I was trying to figure... I could not remember... Because I'm like, I know Lindsay and I did it for the AFI podcast.
And I'm not...
What was it?
Saying that Beauty and the Beast didn't deserve to be nominated for Best Picture, but Silence of the Lamb won, and that came out in February.
That's true.
What the heck was going on in that year that a movie from February won Best Picture? Again,
also first like
for-
R-rated horror movie considered to be horror at the time to have won to be nominated for a Best Picture,
Yeah.
and it won. It's like, all right, but I did. Hey, Silence of the Lambs, great movie. Still
Yes,
love it. Don't worry, that isn't what I'm saying.
I look forward to Colin and Lindsay getting that. But let's go to a further history lesson. Okay. Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Now for TC's Katzenberg Minute.
Katzenberg Corner sounds better. TC's Katzenberg Corner.
Is it spelled Korner? Okay.
No, Katzenberg spelled with a C-O.
Oh, that's just
Kortzenberg.
Kortzenberg Canner.
Okay.
Kortzenberg Canner.
I have spent
Brooklyn.
the past several episodes giving this guy a lot of
I
grief.
feel like you need to just have an entire podcast dedicated to him at this point, TC.
I don't, because we're nearing the end of his tenure.
That's
here.
true. Yep.
And it's been very clear that I have an axe to grind against this guy for a lot of the decisions I feel he made that negatively influenced animated films for the history of animated films once he was involved. But he does deserve a lot of credit for the Renaissance, for the good that came out of this, that his Hollywood sensibilities led to the success that Disney is recreating to today
Right.
with their movies. That him and Eisner were responsible for starting the fire that led to the Renaissance, that led to John Lasseter and what he's doing now. Beauty and the Beast, as we know it, is a product of lessons learned. I've mentioned some movies being lessons learned film before. Ashman and Menken were working on Aladdin after Little Mermaid. They were not working on Beauty and the Beast. We had a friend of the show, David Geisler, who I've been doing the Let's Plays with. He led me down this little rabbit hole to try to find more information about this. This wasn't intended to be a musical.
Which kind of connects to what we were discussing previously about, like, I think during Little Mermaid, about how that was a musical, but then Rescuers was definitely not a musical. I guess we were talking about it last week.
Yes, yeah.
About how it's definitely not a musical, and maybe was this like some of the success of the Little Mermaid being a musical pushed them into, hey, look, we need to make Beauty and the Beast a musical, and
Yep.
it kind of sounds like that's where it went.
The success of Little Mermaid led Katzenberg to say, hey, whatever we're doing, more Broadway. Do that again. And to push even harder when Rescuers Down Under was not tracking well. Now, granted, Rescuers Down Under came out, Beauty and the Beast was already nearing the end of its development. But in the early stages of Rescuers Down Under's development, seeing how the test audiences were reacting to that, while Little Mermaid was just destroying in all their test audiences,
Right.
that led Katzenberg to say, this is the direction we need to go. Let's finish off Rescuers Down Under. Hey, 70 minutes is fine. Let's just get it out. Music.
Being very Katzenberg, because I can picture him approaching this subject the exact same way he approached the other ones, where it's like, oh, it's got to be this. We have to do this ridiculous.
Dogs in New York.
Yeah.
Dogs in New York. That's what kids want.
That's a stupid idea. What are you talking about? You don't know anything. It's like, no, it's got to be more Broadway. That's what kids want. And it's like, that's stupid. This movie was fantastic.
Yeah, he was right in doing this. So pulling Menken and Ashman off of working on Aladdin to come back a film to work on this, that was the right move. And again, as much as I've bashed this man for his mentality and his very cutthroat style to running this company, the animation department, his decisions did yield really good results, and I cannot fault him for that.
Right.
He just still feels like a jerk to me.
I think he is, TC. Sorry, Katzenberg, if you're listening right now.
He's nuts.
He would never listen to this podcast. So, man alive. Sorry, I was just scrubbing through my notes, and I had a question, and I realized we had already discussed it. I am so sorry. We do not need to not need to go about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually. I don't have a whole lot more. What do you have?
Really?
Do you have anything else more? We've actually discussed my buttload of notes. The one thing I do want to talk about, I guess, real quickly, I really did enjoy the voice acting. I felt like the voice acting that the actress had done in it did a really fantastic job. Yeah, there's definitely some deliveries that are a little not flat, but they come off actually kind of Broadway-ish, theater-ish in some of their delivery.
Yeah, nearly every all of the main roles in this movie, aside from like Maurice, are all Broadway professionals who were brought in to be voice acting.
So it's fitting that their delivery of these lines are coming off very kind of theatric in sense.
And that could turn people off of this movie. I don't know who could go into this movie and think they're gonna like it and then not like it because it's too theatrical or too Broadway.
Ridiculous people that I do not care to be friends with. TC is who,
but that could affect someone's opinion of this if it's because it's like it's true to fool like is very
stagey theatrics. They also all seem to stand kind of open to the audience, which anybody who's acted on stage before knows what I'm talking about. They don't necessarily, things aren't staged like a movie would be where there's a 180. Things come off a little bit more like everyone's kind of turned facing the camera.
Right. So where there was a much more cinematic quality to Rescuers Down Under the week before, to a lot of what we saw in Little Mermaid, I feel they lost a bit of the cinematic camera technique in this, only to be replaced by some really expert blocking. If you look at the scene like where Gaston goes to propose to Belle, it's a really well blocked scene.
Right.
It's interesting because they're animated, so it's hard to wrap your brain around the fact that these characters are being moved like blocked like human beings,
right?
Like physical beings. But yeah, there's some really great choreography and blocking throughout the course of this film.
I would say that the lack of the filmic look, in my personal opinion, really only makes itself known during the dialogue scenes, because when Maurice is riding in the woods and he's getting chased by the wolves up to the Beast's castle, the whole fight sequence at the end between Beast and Gaston, the Belle rushing back to Maurice, those all come off very filmic. If you watch what's happening, the camera angles they're doing, the fact that they're doing low camera angles and they're putting the camera, like, I mean, even the opening sequence, like pulling back from Belle's house, and as she walks towards the camera and crossing the bridge over the little bit of the stream and then turning towards the city or the village, it's a very filmic, scenic camera. They definitely have they must have been using the camera plates, the paint animation, because it's just the way that the camera flows. Or so at the end of the prologue, when we see the close up of the rose sitting in Beast's room, and the camera like slowly pulls out past the balcony, and we just keep pulling back and pulling back and pulling back, and we're seeing the castle, and it's a helicopter shot is what it is. And even though in theory in your head you'd be like, oh, it'd be it's not a complicated shot, it'd be easier to do that with a drawing because you just get really close to the drawing and you pull back. But if you think about the level of detail and the space they have to actually do it, that's a really complicated shot, and to pull it off so seamlessly, they do a fantastic job. So I feel they kept the filmic qualities. Yes, I do agree, not as much throughout the film as Rescuers Down Under. Rescuers Down Under was beautiful looking. It just seemed like they kept the focus on certain scenes. When dialogue was happening, nope, let's just kind of keep the camera kind of in a traditional like 3 camera setup, or like reverse and then maybe a wide or something, like just nothing overly complicated for that.
But still, you were right. What drew us into this was the vocal performances. There are some really fine vocal performances in this. Belle has a Judy Garland quality to her through this whole thing, even her outfit, right?
Oh yeah, she's just missing that scrappy little dog.
Yeah,
but she kind of has in the representation of the footstool.
The footstool
which,
dog.
By the way, I would love a footstool dog.
I don't know. Well, I guess they wouldn't need food and they wouldn't pee or poop anywhere.
Right. What are they going to do? Leave on little tassels everywhere around the house?
He's so cute.
He's so cute.
Who's the little tassel dog
you picked up the tassels.
You little footrest
dog.
But
think about it. Cute, loving, and also practical. Footrest for my house.
Yeah.
Also, footrest.
I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Footrest dog. I love those hybrids these days. They're so fantastic. So do you have any other things that you wish to talk about?
I actually don't. I got through all the notes here. I do have some comments from the listeners.
Okay.
So for those of you who, again, this might be the first time diving into this, you can hit us up on facebook.com/topshelfpod.
Yep.
Where we will post when we're going to record. And when this episode goes up, we'd love to hear your reactions to what we had to say. What did we miss? what is something you wish we had elaborated on?
TC loves talking to everybody.
Yeah, I try.
I apologize for those of you who are, just as a quick side note, I do apologize for those of you out there. I have not been commenting on a lot of them because I've been kind of taking a long-term hiatus from social media. So Instagram was still on there, just for, I know that a couple of our listeners know me on Instagram,
Right.
but the Facebook, it's not that I don't love you people. What do you mean, you people? It's not that I don't love you guys. It's just I know TC 9 times out of 10 when I used to log in, I'd be like, "Oh, somebody left and TC commented." Well, he said everything I was going to say, so there you go.
If you want to respond.
Oh no, please do. People like you.
No, well, first up we hear. I hope I say this right. Natasia from the Facebook page. I apologize if I just butchered your name, but new listener, I don't recognize the name. Thank you.
I did not recognize it either.
Thank you very much for listening and commenting. She just says it's her favorite animated Disney movie. Double exclamation point smiley emoji.
I like this new listener.
You like this new listener.
I like this new listener. I agree. Thank you for joining us, and please stick around for more future movies that I enjoy.
Our friend Schulze asks, so when using utensils, glasses, etc., is this harassment? And when going through the armoire and handling the drawers, what is actually being handled here?
Well, see, that's like going along the lines of like when the feather duster is getting plucked of her feathers at the end. Like, what is he actually ripping off right now?
Limbs.
But then there's that definitely that question about like, well, is everything in the house was it a human, or was it just that yes, the chef got turned into an oven, Mrs. Potts got turned into a teapot, Lumiere got turned into a candle, but the knives and the silverware, or the knives, the plates, the food and all that sort of stuff, that stuff was all just magically brought to life.
Right. They were just plates.
Before.
Otherwise, Prince Adam here had a hell of a staff.
Yeah, and apparently no actual furniture.
No furniture.
So that castle was empty.
Thomas, that my intro to Jeff this episode was for you. He mentioned saying, try to fit in, "Good morning, Bella, where are you off to?" And then Aaron Williams, who we've worked with on several films. He had memories of this in the theater. He had been in a lock-in the night before, and so he was very drunk tired when he saw it, but he especially remembered the opening stained glass sequence being extra surreal. The second time he saw it was in the 3D re-release, and he couldn't handle the cell animation at 24 frames per section. 24
Words are hard.
Frames per second with no motion blur.
Oh, yes.
And he left to go sneak into The Adventures of Tintin, another cool movie. I 100% agree that the re-releases on these films, especially the 3D transitions, are not good. Like they weren't meant to be in 3D. Mm-hmm. The only reason to release them now in 3D is for more money.
Yeah.
There's no artistic value in turning something into 3D. That's why after Lion King, which is one of the highest grossing movies of all time, did when it was re-released, and Disney was like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done doing these.
As much as I love this movie, and I'm not sure if you're aware of that, TC, how much I like this movie.
I hadn't heard.
Okay. But as much as I enjoy this movie, and as much as I would love to see it in the theaters, because I've never seen it in the theaters, I would not go see a 3D. There's no way I'd go see a 3D. Yeah. I'm like, no, you show me the original. I don't even care. Show me the special edition. Fine. The one I watched, I'm still okay with that.
But 2D.
2D, please. I do not want to see a 3D version of this film.
Aaron also says, come on, Gaston, 3 words. Hot triplets.
I know, right? Gaston's priorities are strange. But, of course, the triplets are all blondes, aren't they?
He's got good taste.
He likes brunettes.
Belle is a winner.
I am also covered in hair. So, guys, for those of you who don't know what I look like, I am a spitting image of Gaston.
He is. It's quite uncanny.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been sitting out the entire time with my shirt pulled open, so it's just my hairy chest.
In fact, I thought you had somehow just, got an image of the shot from the movie.
That's my actual hair.
So going off of our 3D scene in 3D and good, I did have a tweet from our reoccurring tweeter. Mm-hmm. Twitterpated at me.
Twitterpated.
Dig hi ho, asking remake, yay or nay? Nay. Jeff.
So
I've made my feelings clear on these, but
yes,
I will elaborate. But Jeff, remake, yay or nay?
I watched the remake, the live action remake, correct? That's what we're talking about?
2017 Beauty and the Beast starring Emma Watson. as Belle.
There was a lot about it. I'm not gonna lie. So I saw that one in theaters.
Yes.
And I liked it. I enjoyed the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But all it did was when I left the theater, I'm like, I really want to go watch the original one now. Like, that's what it did. It was fun to kind of see, like, oh, how did they make this stuff work? I did kind of like the concept that the closer to the last petal falling, the objects like Lumiere and Cogsworth and all that stuff slowly started becoming more of what they were. Like, had that last petal fallen, they would have all ceased to live and they would have all just been the objects.
Yes.
I kind of liked that because then they have more stakes in the matter. Like, no, they're basically all just going to die if this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that concept. I flippin' hated the time-traveling mirror or whatever that crap that, or the map or whatever that was.
You didn't want more flashback of Belle's mom? And
I didn't care about her mother. I don't care.
There were little details I actually did appreciate. I liked just this little extra line of Gaston returning from a war that he would have fought in the French Revolution. That would make sense. The little details of Belle's mom in the opening,
right,
where Maurice is making the music box.
Oh, and that song is beautiful. I loved that song. Kevin Kline did a fantastic job with it too.
Little details like that.
Right,
well, it's Kevin Kline.
I cannot really hate Kevin Kline.
Little details like that I appreciated.
Right,
but the additional stuff, like it was unnecessary. That being said, I am a fan of the Broadway version, which does add some mythos to a lot of little elements. A few elements over the course of the show. But
a great number of minuscule elements.
Yes, we're going to continue to get these updated versions. We're getting The Lion King. We will have Aladdin. Like, we're going to continue to get them. But and maybe I'm just being a poop, but I prefer these versions. These animated versions are as perfect as they could be in some respects. Why go back and why as Cogsworth would say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. There you go, Dig.
Yeah, I do agree. There's no need to do them. But if anything, be like me. You go see them, and then you realize how much you love the original one. That's exactly what happened. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go watch the original one now.
Any tropes or firsts on this one?
Oh, TC.
There are.
So we discussed the first, the Disney first of the. So I'll do first because that's my smaller list. The Disney first of it being the first animated film to be nominated Best Picture at the Oscars,
and it won Best Musical Comedy at the Golden Globes.
Oh man. Which usually is an indication for what's going to win Best Picture. Golden Globes generally is the.
They got a good record.
They got a good record going. You actually brought up before we started recording a first, in the fact that Belle is our first brunette princess, technically.
Yeah, our first female protagonist.
Brunette female protagonist for the which is kind of fun.
Blondes and redheads. And black hair.
So, which I did not make that connection. That I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't had any brunettes, have we?
There's lists for everything on the internet.
Oh yes, that's what the internet's for. As for tropes, we got a couple this time, guys. All right, so here we go, guys and girls. Sorry, I'm from Wisconsin. It's just my lexicon.
It's true.
Number one, single parent of the protagonist. And
Crazy
Belle's father.
Old Maurice.
Always good for a laugh. Number two, bubbly mustached rotund parent of the protagonist.
White mustache.
White mustache, fat, kind of crazy. We'll see him again next week. Number three, reused animation, as we had previously discussed. Number four, True Love's Kiss.
Ah, yes.
That's a classic one, which actually I completely forgot about, and I started adding to this list at the beginning of this episode. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot True Love's Kiss. How did I forget that?
Technically, she saved him with just saying she loves him.
True.
It wasn't exactly True Love's Kiss, but love conquers all.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, guys, I made this list with, like, the prologue started, and I wrote this list down. I'm like, this is all these. Is, of course, the villain falls to his death at the end.
Yep.
Which I'd realized while watching it, I'm like, it's because of this movie, and around the time I saw this originally, I had seen Return of the Jedi for the first time.
Yeah.
It's those two movies that made me think that all villains fell to their death at the end of their movies.
Yeah, fall to the death.
Yeah, I'm like, Emperor Palpatine gets thrown over the cliff and falls to his death, and then Gaston falls out the building and falls to his death.
So if you ever need to destroy an enemy,
just throw him off a cliff or
Well,
throw him over the
they
edge.
have to be responsible for falling off their own.
That's true. Oh, and real quick, as a fun little note about that moment when Gaston falls,
Okay.
so it's funny, it's two shots. It's a shot from below him falling towards camera.
Yeah.
And then there's a cut reversal very close on his eye as he's falling away from the camera.
Okay.
There's 2 frames when it's close to his eye. He has little skulls. They drew skulls in his eye
That attention to detail.
instead of his
great.
pupil. It's like 2 frames.
Way to go, Disney.
I
Those
know
animators.
it's there.
At least
and
they didn't
I
hide
see
a
it.
penis.
Oh yeah, it was 2 giant penises
Just
in
2
his
dongs
eyes.
in his eyes.
It would have been inappropriate, but
Oh, boy.
no. So that was just like was a fun little thing to the point where I know when it happens and I see it every time it happens.
Now that you're consciously aware of
Yep.
it, your eyes can
It's
catch
there.
it. That's great. We didn't mention this, but 100% absolutely show your kids this movie. This is,
Absolutely.
we are, and I've been saying this for the past few episodes, we are in the definitive Disney animated era, that when you think of Disney animated films, you think of these films. Even
Yep.
though we're on movie number 30,
Yep.
now we are establishing exactly what an entire couple generations of people use as the touchstone for Disney animation.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely, this is a movie worth showing kids.
There's nothing in this movie that's overly frightening or
Yeah.
inappropriate
Yeah.
because Gaston, he wants Belle. It's okay. It's a little rapey in some spots.
Little rapey.
Just a
Little
little bit.
rapey.
A little bit too much. Gaston just needs to cut back a little bit.
More misogynistic.
There you go. But it's like it's nothing that a kid's not going to watch it going, what was that? Like they're not going to care. I didn't care.
Even Beast is not terrifying.
No.
Even the wolves themselves, they smartly did not overshadow them.
Right.
They are very clearly wolves.
Yes.
They are scary, but they are not sinister looking
Right.
any more than just the fact that they have fangs. And
I actually kind of think the hyenas are probably scarier
Oh,
looking in
yes,
Lion King
yes,
than
yeah,
the
yeah.
wolves are in this one. This movie is definitely not something that a kid is going to be terrified of or not understand. They're going to like it. Lots of fun songs, lots of great characters.
Yep.
It's a great female lead for the most part. In the sense that Belle very much so doesn't want Gaston, doesn't want the big handsome guy, and
She
looks
dreams of
for
so much more.
Yeah, she wants adventure in the great wide somewhere while she rips off Sound of Music. It's perfectly
It's
okay.
fine. It's fine.
I'm okay
It's
with
homaging.
it.
It's
It's
homaging
totally
stuff.
homaging.
Well, I do have one more theory here that was tweeted at me, and I'm sorry I did this again. I forgot to write down who tweeted at me. So
Okay.
thank you. You can hit me up on Twitter at TC's Big Head.
Yep.
I'm pretty active on there. If you also want to hit up Jeff at Random Bell.
Mm-hmm.
The fairy at the beginning, is that the blue fairy?
You know what? I think I remember running across this theory way back when we were doing
The Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Yeah. This fairy is transforming in some interpretations a boy into something.
Right.
With you must learn a lesson before you can become a real boy.
Right.
Right. So could the fairy, the benevolent fairy of Pinocchio, be the very cranky fairy from
Which and it's worth noting. One of the other things near the beginning during Belle's opening song, she does establish the fact that she's in a world where there are fairy tales because she talks about Prince Charming. So that means that this is technically not in canon, or this is not in the universe of Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella and all those princess fairy tales. That those
Right.
are just stories in her
if
world.
she can read Sleeping Beauty, if she could a Prince in Disguise and sword fights, and is she talking about Aladdin? Like
Right.
she can talk about those movies. But Pinocchio is not a
But
fairy
Pinocchio's
tale.
not a fairy tale,
Yeah.
so it still works that Pinocchio could very well be in this universe.
And you mentioned Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yep,
has
because
a bell.
Belle's walking in the streets during one of the wide shots in Paris.
So the reason I asked this, and actually I'm asking you this tweet because it's a good tweet, but I'm also going to ask the listeners: should the fairy from this go on the wizard stool, or is it the blue fairy?
Or is it the same
And therefore,
fairy?
it's the same character. I like the notion that it's the same fairy. she's blonde. She's got a magic wand with a star on it.
Right.
And she's transforming a human to something else to get back to being like. There's a lot of similarities here. So I am gonna go with the theory that yes, it is the Blue Fairy.
You know what? I like the fact that it's the Blue Fairy. If the Blue Fairy was a character that had appeared in like Sleeping Beauty or Snow White or one of those, I would have said no, because we're in the world of no fairy or fairy tale stories. But I do agree, because Pinocchio does still work in this world, and the Blue Fairy. So Beauty and the Beast takes place in France, and Pinocchio took place in Italy,
yes.
So it's still a European story. She could be bouncing around Europe. We don't know.
Magic.
She's also magic, and she can teleport, or she can transform people into animals and wood things. So really, it doesn't matter where it takes place.
Yeah. So I'm going with yes on that.
Okay, that's you know what? I never even thought about that.
Yeah. So if the listeners disagree, please feel free to tweet at me what your feeling about this is. Jeff, of all the movies we've watched,
Number 10. No,
I know it's perfunctory to ask at this point.
guys, I'm so sorry. You guys all know this. You knew it 10 episodes ago, and I did. I gave it a legitimate try.
did, yes.
I was actually very surprised Little Mermaid made it to be number 1. Made it to be my number 2, because yes, surprise, spoilers, Beauty and the Beast is my number 1.
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised at Beauty and the Beast. I didn't see Beauty and the Beast making it that high. Or sorry, Little Mermaid, about making it that high. So I did legitimately try. I watched this movie again, as I said, with a very critical eye to like figure out the pacing and like the number of songs and all that sort of stuff. And I came away from the movie going, yeah, no, it's still my favorite. It's my favorite out of these 10.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee I'm pretty certain it's my favorite overall, but I don't know. We have
2 more sets to go.
2 more sets to go, but it's definitely my number 1. I'm sorry. At the end of this movie, it always makes me happy. It always makes me smile. I always laugh. I know the songs. I have fun singing the songs. The music is on Spotify went, hey, here's 30 random songs we thought you'd love based upon what you listened to. It played Gaston today because that's how much I love this movie.
They know. They knew.
Spotify knows I like Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, it's just, and yes, part of that is nostalgia, but a lot of it is just, I love it. It's just, I love the story and I love the music and I love the animation.
So finishing off this set of 10, and by the way, this is no surprise to me. I knew this was going to be, I was really interested to see, especially because some of these movies you hadn't seen before, how this would affect your viewing. Now, that being said, going into our next set,
oh, it's going to get tough.
Right, and had Beauty and the Beast been a part of going up against some of the movies we're watching in the next couple of weeks, maybe that would have been a harder challenge for you, but you got lucky on this.
I got very the Disney gods were looking down upon me for this podcast, guys. Just saying.
What are your 10 for this set? There's a little recap of, I'm kind of dodging answering that now. I don't know if you're being able to.
I've noticed this. You can't get away from me this easy, TC.
Okay, so
do you want me to do my 10? I can do my 10.
Yeah, let's discuss your 10 because I'll discuss mine as well.
Okay.
After.
So my 10 end up being for this podcast. Number 10 was Robin Hood. Number 9 is The Black Cauldron. Number 8 is Oliver and Company. Number 7 is The Rescuers. Number 6, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Number 5, The Great Mouse Detective. Number 4, Rescuers Down Under. 3, The Fox and the Hound, which, by the way, was my number 1 for the longest time.
Yep, until we hit Little
Mermaid. Number 2 is Little Mermaid, and then number 1 is Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I do want to say, out of that list of 10, which a lot of them were because we hit that dark era of Disney and then got into the Renaissance again, a lot of those movies are ones that I had never seen before.
Where did Oliver and Company land?
Oliver and Company ended up as number 8.
Yeah, okay.
And
so
number 8, yeah.
You hadn't seen Black Cauldron. You hadn't seen Oliver and Company.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you like the Great Mouse Detective, I had no memory of or didn't see. I mean, that ended up being number 5. The fact that The Fox and the Hound, the movie that I knew of, but I couldn't tell you what happened in it, is my number 3. Like a movie that I don't know if I cannot remember ever actually seeing, made it so high on my list. When it should have been, in theory, if it was just movies that I've seen, Winnie the Pooh should have been up there, or even like Oh, I don't know. Actually, yeah, Winnie the Pooh, which should have been in that place, not the Fox and the Hound.
This was a strange chunk of films. So the 10 that we just watched stretched from how many? We went over a decade and a half between these films,
Right,
right?
because we ended up in 1991 with Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
But then our first one, which was Robin Hood, was 73.
Yeah, 73 to 91.
So almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years of film here. We've learned a lot on this.
Oh,
Discussing
yes.
the Katzenberg and Eisner coming in, how they affected the change in film, the
And
competition.
just the change in film in general.
Yeah.
Or animation.
The competition that Don Bluth and his exodus from Disney, what that did to Disney itself, the other studios coming up and starting to challenge Disney,
Right.
played a part in the success and failures of some of these movies. This was a really interesting era of movies. What we're moving into next with the end of the Renaissance into what many can call the Second Dark Ages. I'm trying to think what we start. We start with Aladdin and then we end with
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove. So we're
9 years is all that we cover for these next 10 movies.
in a
It's
tight
a
space.
very tight space.
We won't hit the Second Dark Ages then until another chunk of films. Now,
Looks like that's what starts off the next.
yeah, it's
Oh my goodness! I think it is the list afterwards.
So this was a really interesting era of film to go back to these movies, to watch the evolution change over the course of these 10 films was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. Now my list, I had Black Cauldron at 10, Oliver and Company at 9, and I shared my disappointment in both of those films because Black Cauldron, I can see the potential and it's just squandered.
Yep.
Oliver and Company, I can see all of the wrong ideas being executed. Rescuers being a little too dated, but still having... So there's still some good in there. I think really Oliver and Company and Black Cauldron are the only two movies I could say I just don't like them.
Right.
And it's hard to find... Why should I worry? I mean, that's great.
It's a
but
great song.
Beyond that, Fox and the Hound being my number 6.
Seven.
10, 9, 8. It's number 7, yeah. Fox and the Hound being my number 7. And the effectiveness of that film, how heart-wrenching it is.
Yeah.
Like, Rescuers Down Under going up next. Then Robin Hood being such a movie I have so much fun with. I really love and appreciate the commitment to telling a story with animals, strictly animals, which Thomas and I had a little conversation about on the Facebook page in a comment section about Rescuers Down Under last week being that confusing who can talk and who can't.
Right.
Right. Great Mouse Detective being my number 3 in being this wonderful introduction into number 4.
I know. I was doing the same thing when I was reading mine off because I'm like, wait, because the
Because I
numbering
haven't slipped in yet. Great Mouse Detective being my number 4.
There you go.
And being this wonderful introduction into Sherlock Holmes, Winnie the Pooh being my number 3.
Oh,
and now...
You surprised me. I was actually expecting you to put Beauty and the Beast at number 3.
Okay, so... Here,
You put it at number 2, right? Come on.
So Beauty and the Beast versus Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I know
is
you.
one of the hardest... This was a hard matchup. But it really could have played a difference in the fact that this week we watched them separately.
Right.
Whereas with Little Mermaid, we sat next to each other. We enjoyed the movie in silence.
It's true.
And maybe my energy in watching the film might have been a little different had I been sitting next to you. But Little Mermaid gave me chills. From the minute that first pluck of the notes happened. The songs themselves, Kiss the Girl and Under the Sea and Part of Your World. Like, I honestly, everything I love both these movies equally for different reasons. If somehow there's some sort of alchemy out there that could take all the best parts of Little Mermaid and all the best parts of Beauty and the Beast, taking the characterization of the villain of Gaston and the beautiful animation and villainy of Ursula and putting them together, of taking Prince Eric's heart and mashing it with Beast's struggle and his character arc, of taking the passion of Ariel. Ariel's Part of Your World alone just sets her apart from any Disney princess we've seen at this point, but mashing it with the intelligence of Belle. There's so much good in both of these, but when it came down to it, Little Mermaid beats out Beauty and the Beast. So again, we only have one movie as a matching number 1 with Pinocchio. But this was a really, really hard decision for me to make.
And you know what? You brought up a good point, because I will agree in the sense that I loved Little Mermaid. I really did. And it sounds to me like you love Little Mermaid the same way I love Beauty and the Beast. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting out of it. And I knew that by sitting watching Little Mermaid with you.
In this section of films, yes. Little Mermaid does affect me in how Beauty and the Beast affects you.
And so what you're saying is what we actually need is we need the movie Mermaid and the Beast.
Mermaid and the Beast,
That's what we want. We want Mermaid and the Beast.
Or The Little Beauty. No, wait, that sounds really, really misogynist.
That's weird.
Mermaid and the Beast.
Mermaid and the Beast. But
no, I don't want that. For the love of God, nobody make that movie. I'm not asking for that.
It does feel like polar opposites, though. It feels to me, because obviously Belle wants out of the world that she's in. So does Ariel, though.
Yeah.
But Ariel wants to be human. Belle just wants to be gone. She just wants to get out.
It's the level of naivete versus the level of maturity that
Right.
Belle brings. Belle is taking care of her father. Ariel is a 16-year-old girl just dreaming of the world.
Right, and I do definitely picture Ariel being... Sorry, I picture Belle being 20, 21. I picture her being around...
Quick Google right now. It says, how old is Belle in Beauty and the Beast?
Good point, actually. But she's definitely... I do not picture Belle as a teenager.
No.
She's never come across to me as a teenager because she feels mature, she's smart. She feels to me actually like she'd be out of college. Like if we're looking at it modern days. She seems to be like she would be around, again, going with the whole if Adam was, or if the Beast was going to be 21 years old when he out, like, yeah, I picture them being adults.
There you go. So Beauty and the Beast, they now, according to Disney Wikipedia, they have it marked as 17.
Really?
But 17 out of the French Revolution, that's like 25.
That's true. She only had like another 2 years of her life anyways before she was going to probably get killed.
Yeah.
That's a happy little thought, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, great, guys. Thanks, Jeff, for bringing up that.
Cholera was a hell of a thing.
Oh, man. You know what? It took down a lot of people.
So it was a really tough choice to put Little Mermaid over Beauty and the Beast because I can genuinely see the greatness of Beauty and the Beast. There's no denying the greatness of Beauty and the Beast, but when it comes down to how it affects me, there's just something so much more joyful to me, just in Little Mermaid. I am affected by it just that much more.
And I will say the same for Beauty and the Beast, compared to Little Mermaid. Like we've had that before where like we get movies that are like, oh, it's so close. Because these two movies are so fantastic, but this one just edged over a little bit more. Yeah. That was definitely this case.
I wanted to say Beauty and the Beast just so that we had another matched pairing, but it would be dishonest of me to say that. So it was.
It's just gonna make our final episode where we talk about all these movies that much more interesting because then it's just not. Well, here's the movies that we absolutely agreed on every single time.
We gotta go tournament style, like tournament to tournament, because like my number ones versus and your number ones is gonna be a different head-to-head matchup.
That's very true. Oh man, but. So, yeah, good.
Well, I'm curious to see what the listeners have to say when we post this episode. What are your reactions to a lot of the stuff we've said here? But also, where do you land? What's your number one movie? How do you rank this set of 10 that we just watched? Because you guys had a lot to say in our comments, in our the tweets. You guys had a lot to say about this run of movies. I do think that is because we're getting closer and closer to the movies we all grew up with.
Yep. We are smack dab in the middle of them right now. Yeah. Now that we got past Rescuers Down Under, this next couple are just, that's the movies I watched when I was growing up.
Yeah, I think from this point on, I have seen every one of these movies in theaters. I could be wrong, because I have to think about that and as we come up on them, but I think I've seen every single one from this point on in theaters.
And unfortunately for me, not so much. There's actually a handful of them I've never seen.
That is more exciting to me because it's going to offer some interesting conversation.
I'm excited to see, and I'm not going to lie, I'm excited to watch them. Like there's nothing I'm dreading because I'm really curious now that we're over the hump of the movies that we have. There's only 56 of these that we're watching total for this run as of now. We're over the halfway point with 30 being Beauty and the Beast. There's still so many more that are coming that I'm like, I've never seen these, and I'm really excited to see what's coming, knowing from where we've been.
There are a bunch coming up that I'm really looking forward to discuss, both for good and bad. You guys can take a look if you go to Wikipedia. You're gonna look up the Disney Animation Studios and look up that specific grouping of 56 films. I believe the link's on the Facebook page.
Yep, there's also a dedicated Wikipedia page for list of Walt Disney Animation Studios films, and that is the list we have been going off of.
Yeah. So take a look at what's coming up here. Typically, we don't we don't specifically tell you what's coming, except what's coming next week,
Right.
Which is
the 1992 classic. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. TC, this might be my number one movie as of next week. Not of the next list.
because it will be. This
Aladdin is our next movie, guys.
yes. So
I didn't actually say the title. Sorry.
Aladdin, yes.
I am.
Now,
oh man.
Your Beauty and the Beast, though I was saying Little Mermaid is my Beauty and the Beast for this section, Aladdin is my Beauty and the Beast. So
Okay.
this is going to be tough, a tough run of films because this next 10 has some really good ones in it. And kicking off with Aladdin, we have some fun to be had.
We have a lot of fun to be had, and to end the 10, because I cheated. I looked ahead.
Well, yeah.
I know what the last one of the next 10 is going to be, and that's why I'm saying Aladdin is my number one, obviously next week, but might not be my number one by the time we get to this list, guys.
We'll be seeing what you have to say about it because
there's a good chunk of these that I've never seen. I have never seen Hunchback.
Oh, really?
I've never seen Mulan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know them. I know
Oh,
songs
man.
from them. I've never seen them because that was the Pocahontas was kind of the end of my Disney animation watching.
Yeah.
Like my Disney movie watching for years. And like for a good 7-8 years until even so the last movie on this list I didn't see for years after it came out. But and I've never seen them, so I'm really curious to see how much I enjoy these movies coming up.
Particularly because of that. Now we are going to be ending Katzenberg's run, and the Renaissance will come to an end in this next bit of films, and there's going to be there's going to be some effects on the films to follow. So there's some fun stories to be told about the results and the effects that some of these movies have had on movies that follow. So I'm really looking forward to discussing some of the history of the Disney animated films through this next chunk and into the chunk beyond.
And continuing to see where these movies go, because now we're entering the era of, obviously we've had a lot of CG in these films. That it was definitely used in Beauty and the Beast, not to the extent that it's been used and in previous, like obviously Rescuers and those types of films. Yeah. But we're entering the era where CG films are starting to become a thing, especially once we hit like Lion King era, mid 90s, and you can I feel like we'll start to see the effect of, hey, there's other movies out there now. Yeah, granted, being made by Disney still, but we're getting into a new era of filmmaking, a new era of just animation, and I'm curious to see how that might affect what's going to come as we go.
So that's in our future then. So thank you everyone for listening. This was a fun episode. I actually thought we were going to go a little bit longer. This is a bit longer than we've done.
True, but TC, we are only 2 minutes shy of the running length of the special edition of Beauty and the Beast. It's okay.
It's okay. So
now everybody sit back and enjoy me singing the entire the entire soundtrack to Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so starting with the opening song.
You go ahead and start. I'll do our outro here.
So once upon a time.
So if you want to hit us up on Facebook.com/TopShelfPod. Again, you can comment there. You can message us there. You can also hit up me on Twitter at TC's Big Head.
I couldn't keep it going. Sorry.
Jeff at Random Bell. Thank you everybody for listening.
Thanks everybody.
This is great. Thanks for having me on again.
Yes, thanks for coming, TC. And I don't think next week we'll be in the same room again.
I'm once again hitting the road. Yep. I'm heading back out west.
But it's been 3 weeks of you being here. So after this, we'll go back to our old-fashioned ways of doing it over the internet
and trying not to be affected by the delay.
Exactly. None of you knew there was a delay, did you?
Unless we pointed it out,
which we always pointed it out.
We should stop doing that.
We probably should stop pointing it out. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again, TC.
Thank you. I am TC. This is Jeff across.
Yo.
Jeff Bell.
Yep, TC. And, we're not going to be able to do that again. And TC, do the sign off.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you guys next time. This is the sign off.
It's true, LeFou. And I got my sights set on that one.
The inventor's daughter?
She's the one. The lucky girl I'm going to marry.
But she's
the most beautiful girl in town. That makes her the best.
Yes.
And don't I deserve the best? This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.